In the last video, we looked at exporting and bouncing sounds, and I started to bounce the sounds. You saw me bounce the bongos, the very first track we've got here. And I just went on to do exactly the same thing with every single track. I just didn't really want to bore you with the whole process. It's a pretty mundane task. Make sure you've got something to watch or somebody to talk to, because it might take a while with big projects. You really just want to do the same thing on every track with the same settings. In Logic they stay the same, so it's pretty easy to complete. And then really it's just a case of looking at the files that you've finished with, and you can see that in the bounces file here we've got 13 files. It's all done. They're all 24-bit. They're all of reasonably similar sizes, and that's because obviously we went from the same point, and everything else apart from the bongos, I just left the left and right locators where they were. Some of the parts I consolidated, amalgamated, just to save time, but now we're ready to move across to Cubase and get these parts in there. So after a super fast intro there with me speaking at 1,000,000 miles an hour to try and fit this into 5 final minutes, we're over in Cubase and we've finished exporting the Logic parts. I explained that I just did the same thing 13 times. As you can see in Cubase, we've got a 24-bit project here. It's 44.1 kilohertz. We've got 13 tracks. In fact, we've got 14 tracks, so one extra has managed to find its way in. And we're just about to drag our audio in there. Now, you can use the traditional import audio shortcut route, which is here. I've got a keyboard shortcut set to I. Or, alternatively, you can bring your audio files across. Here they are in the folder. And you can grab them all. And you can drag them in a bar before you want them to start. So we can say, look, different tracks. It's going to say, look, do you want to put them all on one track or do you want to put them on different tracks? I'm going to say different tracks. And there it is, importing them. So Cubase has done its thing. All the tracks are imported. All the images of the audio is updated so we can see everything nicely. And in the last section, I was banging on about 13 tracks. There's actually 10, so apologies for that. If we look at the folder, I was counting everything in there as the 13 items, not just the 10 audio tracks. So we've got 10 tracks and 10 audio files. That's everything that was in our original mix. Like I said, some of these things have been squashed together, have been amalgamated just to save time. But basically, the beauty of checking our levels in the last stage and making sure that everything wasn't clipping and that making sure our master processes were off means that we still got our relative mix. What I mean by this is that if we bring the mixer up, here's the mixer, we can see that everything is at unity gain. Everything is at 0 dB. I've not got any level change here at all. Currently, everything's not named, so try and bear with me on that one. You can see the names in the regions. But if I play this back, you'll see that our mix is exactly the same. You got it, baby. Now, we are getting a little bit of a clip on the master output, and that is most likely due to the fact that we were probably getting a little bit of a clip in Logic's master output when we turned the mastering processes off with the full mix on. But as you can see, our relative mix is there. We could turn everything down a couple of dB possibly and reintroduce our mastering processes, and we'd have pretty much exactly the same mix. So we're ready to edit, we're ready to add any extra parts we want to, and we're ready to add any other processing or any other extra plugins from Cubase that we like. So there you go. That's really the process that you want to go through, moving between DAWs. Like I said, you could be going from Logic to Ableton Live, from Record or Reason into Logic. I mean, it really doesn't matter. As long as you get those settings right, and as long as you take care to watch your signal path and make sure that nothing's clipping. I hope this was a big help to all of you. If you've got any suggestions for future tutorials or screencasts, please leave a comment, and I'll speak to you all soon.